Hello, gamers, and welcome to Ready Up, a weekly gaming discussion podcast by NextPlay Australia. I'm your host, Brad, joined today by Jamie.
Hello.
And Berto.
Hola.
How are you guys? Are you ready to talk games?
I'm so keen. These years are so
You're
hard.
born ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's been a tough battle, and we're just getting into the thick of it now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to keep up to date with our latest videos. You can even follow us on our socials at NextPlayAU. Don't forget our news discussion podcast, Not Another Update, dropping weekly. Everything is linked below, and with housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the show. This week, we will be continuing our best games of the century list, where this week we'll be taking a look at 2015 to 2019. But first, can you name the game for this week? Do you think you know what it is? Well, sit tight as we reveal the answer at the end of the show.
Lord.
All right, before we get into the main topic, let's talk about what games we've been playing recently. Berto, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, sure. So I think last time we recorded, I was reviewing Halo. So that's now been released, my review. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I thought it was amazing.
Nice.
The score, although, kind of like irrelevant, really. It's just how I felt regarding the whole experience. I actually loved it. I think we've spoken quite a bit in these format about Halo before. Predominantly our experience. I don't know if any of us three actually chose Halo. Did we? Or Halo 2?
I didn't. No.
I think I chose the original Halo. I remember talking about the multiplayer a bit.
Yeah. I thought it was great. Like, playing on a PlayStation 5 was the weirdest thing ever. But the muscle memory kicked in so quick. It was like a force in the head. I was just like, man, this is perfect. It plays very differently, though, with the DualSense, obviously. I think the Xbox controller is a little bit better when it comes to first-person shooters. I just find them a little bit more responsive. In saying that, keys exactly the same, feelings exactly the same. Just looks more gorgeous, just looks better. And I guess what made it amazing for me was the fact that it was already amazing to begin with. And this is where I had a little bit of difficulty kind of like talking about the experience, because when we published the review and it came out, I had a few people who were a little bit upset that I was a little bit too positive about it, which I found quite funny. And
How dare you?
trying to explain, which is fine, but trying to explain, and I was talking to mostly of the Xbox people, fans who were overwhelmingly more positive. They appreciated the review, so it's really interesting to see the dynamic of, I guess, the new age or the newer people that were much younger that hadn't experienced it, and I was trying to explain to them an experience. Whereas the more established Xbox gamers that grew up with it had already bought it. So that to and from, that back, is it good because I remember it to be good? Or is it good because it was always good and this is just accentuating it? That's where I kind of like stood at the end of my review. It just felt, it was already great to begin with. And this just felt like it stepped it up a little bit notch and gave you the best version of itself. Unfortunately, no multiplayer, but it says it it's the name of the game, the campaign. Like, it's not Halo 1, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a really interesting, I guess, internal monologue that I had with myself. Like, it's like if I played The Last of Us 25 years from now. Is it still a 10 out of 10? And soon we're going to have that discussion probably when Ocarina of Time comes out. is it still the same 30 years later? You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
I think the difference would be Ocarina, I feel like is going to be like, not completely different, but like substantially different to the
I
original.
would hope so.
Whereas it looks like Halo Campaign Evolved is almost a one for one, apart from a few extra content additions.
Just turns it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just
Um,
streamlines a little bit. Does
I get
enough, but doesn't do enough.
I get what you mean. Like I think we've all reviewed remakes at some point, and it's hard when the original game is like one of those heavy hitters. Like,
Yeah.
do you review the game like from a different perspective, or do you take into account that the original game was like a 10 out of 10? Like, if there's something in the remake that is slightly different, is it not as good, or is it just different? Like, it's really hard. And like, I also find like reviewing a new version of a game a bit challenging as well. Like, I think I reviewed Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PS5 and PC. And obviously, I gave Rebirth a 10, and like, it almost felt like it would have been weird if I didn't give it a 10 on PC too. Like, as long as it ran well, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is hard to juggle that. But I guess it depends how you go into the review and like how you approach the review. Like, but
Yeah.
that's why like reviews are subjective, because like we all go into the reviews looking at games from a different perspective.
Yeah. It was very interesting, but I loved it. I think it's amazing. I hope it
Yeah.
does well. I hope they redo this to the other Halos, and if you're a fan of it, go grab it. You're going to grab it anyway, really. It's
Yeah.
that iconic.
Like,
But
honestly,
for the
I'm
new
thinking about it.
for the new gamers, they'll be like, "Is this it? Is this really it?" But you got to again shift your perspective to how first person shooters are now to back then. Very different.
And like, I think it was always going to be good, because Halo was like kind of like a pioneer back then for like first person shooters of that generation, and definitely influenced a lot of games after that. So
Absolutely changed a lot.
yeah,
Hold
I
on.
have seen.
I do have a question, regarding Halo. So when Gears came out on PlayStation 5, it was kind of more like a discounted price. I think it was around the 50, 55, maybe 60 mark. This on JB Hi-Fi is $79. Do you think that sits
Yeah,
about right, or do you think that's a little bit too much? Or
I think it's perfect.
okay,
Yeah. What's the differences between the
I
Halo one?
haven't
Is it?
looked.
I mean, the Gears one. Is it a huge difference?
Well, they didn't have the multi. Oh no, they did have the multiplayer in that one. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't think they went full remake on that. That was kind of more like remastered in a way, but
Yeah,
it did stick with the multiplayer at least. Like it gave you all of the content. So I was just curious with the multiplayer being removed and everything like that, if you would still say it's justified around that price. But
Did you ever play the Halo remake, like that CE edition?
oh, the
The one where
anniversary
you push.
edition.
Yeah. Did you ever play that?
Oh, I think I did. That was 360, right? It had like a silver cover, I think.
No. I think
I
it's
think I did
Xbox
play it
One,
though.
wasn't it? The one where you
Uh,
press the button and you can turn between
Switch the
classic
graphics, yeah.
style. Yeah, unless you're right, I don't know.
No,
But
who knows? I do remember playing something like that though. But
it's a dramatic shift from that. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's just you, yeah, charging 79 is fair. Charging more, I would probably feel like it's
I
a
was
little
gonna
bit
say
unfair.
I would
Not a
have.
shocker. EB Games have it at 90. So
Oh god.
That's a lot.
yes,
If they
That's
charged
too
like
much.
120 for it, I would have like my eye would have been twitching, but 80 seems alright.
Yeah, fair. So yeah, I've been playing that.
Have you been playing anything else?
Yeah, Rebirth. You just mentioned it
Oh
before.
yeah.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 7. So, and I know I've taken a bit of time, so I'll be quick with it. There's too much stuff to do. Too much. I
there's
played
a
it
lot.
and I loved it, and I quit it for some reason. I think just kids and family life got in the way. And now I just want to like progress, but I got to do like 100 other things, like finding a balloon or doing something else and
I mean, you don't
finding
have
some
to
sort of
do
like
that, do
twig.
you?
I feel like I have to. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It annoys me. But
Um,
otherwise, I love it. It's just too much.
well, apparently Revelation has even more to do, so you're gonna love that.
I'll bring all the balloons then.
It's
Let's
not.
go.
Jamie, have you been playing anything
I
recently?
have actually. I've been playing 007. I
Oh yeah.
am. I was on the final mission last night, but it got to about 11:30, and I'm
Wow.
like, I can't. I need to go to sleep. So not played that tonight to be on the show instead. But even though I really want to get back to it, I'm loving it. Like you get if you played any of the Hitmans, especially the more recent ones, like you see the sort of breadcrumbs of that foundation in this. I do think it's my only real criticism that I have with it is just some of the investigation aspects are a bit watered down. Like in Hitman, you find a heap of different options. You have like costumes, work your way. You know, it's almost like step by step getting to the end of the puzzle in those to get to your target. In this, like there is eavesdropping. Like you will literally get prompted where you need to go and eavesdrop on a conversation, and that will kind of just tell you what you need to do, and then you go do it. It's still fun, but it just feels like very much like a there's only one or two solutions to getting to the next story beat. Sometimes, um, those usually when you first enter a new location, those missions. But like when it does do the sort of Uncharted esque, oh, here's a combat area, here's some puzzles, some platforming, and everything like that. It really does shine. The hand to hand combat is really good. Like I kind of suck at it here and there, but when it actually works, it's brutal. Like you can basically just do takedowns on any of the environment that's around you. You'll be like mid combat, and if something's over here like a hammer, you can just press the prompt, throw it at the enemy, which will like daze them, and you can just start attacking. um but story wise, I really enjoy it. It has a very slow and tempered introduction to everything. So it's very good if you have no sort of history at all with Bond. It's a great first level. I just found introducing everything to about Bond, the double O's, MI6, everything like that just takes a little bit. And especially me having played that section over like 4 days, it felt extremely long because I was
Mm,
slowly chipping away. But like I've been like stopping doing late night housework because I wanted to just go back to it. So that says a
mm,
lot about how much I'm enjoying it. So
mm.
Yeah.
I know Ben spoke about the actor. I don't know his name, but he's a great, charismatic, witting, um, just real smart assy, which I really like. And
Mm.
yeah, it does give you vibes of some of those more recent Bond films, but maybe with a little dialed down in terms of seriousness at times, because he is younger, so he is a little bit more sort of brash and going against everyone because he thinks he can do it best. But it does fit the character because he's well rounded. Like when he does allow his emotions to come out, you sort of you understand that he does hide behind that facade in a way. So um it's probably better than I was expecting it to be. So I'm really
That's
enjoying
good.
it. I'll probably go for the platinum as well. So I remember you were saying, Brad, that you wanted to go and check this out. Highly recommend from me.
Yeah.
Really enjoying it.
Nice. Awesome. As for me, I haven't really been playing much new. Uh, it's just almost the same every week. Still playing Final Fantasy X too.
Apex.
I'm still playing Apex. Um, Still playing Tears of the Kingdom. So,
Awesome.
yeah, loving them all. So, yay. All right, let's get into the main topic and talk about our favorite games from 2015 to 2019, starting with 2015. And I shall go first, as always. My pick is The Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt. Did anyone else have this?
I did, but I can talk about my second option, so I'll let you talk about Witcher.
Okay.
I had it as well.
So, well, I might start with like my first Witcher experience, which was The Witcher 2, which the combat was kind of not great for me. So I dropped that pretty quickly. So, like, I remember being kind of hesitant when The Witcher 3 came out, but they definitely refined the combat and made it so much easier. Like, it's still a little complex, but like way easier to handle mid fight. But yeah, The Witcher 3, I think, has one of the most dense and purposeful worlds I've ever played a game in. It was probably definitely the first like world that I was like just genuinely lost in the best possible way. And like everyone loves Geralt. It obviously introduced Gwent as well, which I didn't get into, but like when I replay The
So
Witcher
good.
3 before the DLC
I love
comes
Gwent.
out, I'm gonna give it a go. Um, but yeah, I mean, this game is like appears on so many the best game of all time lists, best RPG lists. Yeah, like what more do I say? The world's beautiful, the story is fantastic, the side quests are amazing, like almost like not as good as the main story, but like it's not a slug to get through the side quests. Like when you see a quest marker, you actually want to go there and do that. Which I think a lot of open world games struggle to actually do is have purposeful side quests, like engaging ones that make it feel like what you're doing is actually affecting the world around you instead of just kind of lame fetch quests for no
Grabbing
reason.
balloons.
Yeah, grabbing balloons. Yeah, it's I'm yeah, very excited for the DLC coming out. I think it's next year. And excited for The Witcher 4 too if it lives up to what The Witcher 3 did. Jamie, thoughts on The Witcher 3?
So Witcher 3 was my choice, but I'll talk about my second one in a little bit. But I just want to touch on there's a word you repeated, and I had actually written in my notes as well, purposeful.
Yeah.
Everything about the Witcher 3 world is that. Like I remember it was a documentary with one of the CD Project Red devs at the time, and they were saying they went into a mentality with the open world that they wanted something interesting within every 40 seconds. Like you're constantly finding something, either hidden a treasure, a monster to attack. Like they never wanted the player to have too much downtime. They wanted them to
Mm,
constantly feel like they were finding something. And that is what I love about this world. Like it is everything feels like it has a purpose. Every building feels like you could spend minutes in there at a time and find something new. It's insane that this was 2015. This came out due to not
yeah.
only the sheer
Yeah.
size of it, uh, but the intricacy of everything. And then that's not even touching on the incredible, like absolutely incredible expansions that came out to
Yeah.
fit alongside this game.
Phenomenal.
They were
Yeah.
better than some of like actual games that released in the
Actual
years that
games.
they came out. Um, but yeah, I think Brad did cover most of everything. We talk about Witcher 3 all the time. It's a phenomenal game in almost every right. My second choice, which I won't linger on, too much, but I do think it deserves praising. Ori and the Blind Forest.
Mm.
Ori and the Blind Forest, I think, is almost a perfect platformer, which says a lot. The Witcher still
Yeah.
beats it out. Um, Incredible atmosphere, the music. I still remember that opening trailer that they revealed at like an E3 with the music and the opening. Um, it always gets me in the feels watching that trailer. But Moon Studios hit it out of the park with not only the visuals, their deliberate storytelling. Like it's almost like zero dialogue, I believe, but just what they're able to portray on screen through the emotion of the characters and everything is insane. If somehow you haven't played Ori in the Blind Forest, like go out of your way to play it. I really wish it came to PlayStation, like with so many other Xbox games coming over. I really, if they ever announce like a collection of both games, I'll be on that straight away. Um, but yeah,
It's on the Switch
or
too. Switch, the
yeah,
collection of both of them.
I've got it on the Switch too in physical form as well. But I would
It's
love to
so
get a
good.
platinum for both games if I ever could. That's like a bucket list before I die thing. But yeah, both incredible games. But yeah, Ori deserves a mention, I think.
Mm.
Berto, what's your 2015 game?
Yeah, The Witcher 3. I think it's the
Oh,
second
okay.
time we're all in agreement now.
Yeah.
What was the last one? Uncharted 2?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And almost The Last of Us. I don't really have anything new to add. You guys hit everything that I wanted to say. It was the most, purposeful is probably the perfect word. Everything had a sense of purpose, and the pace was perfectly done, and the Gwent was beyond addictive for a card game,
So good.
like horrifically addictive. Um, yeah, just so many. Like I usually talk a lot more about gameplay than story. I think Jamie talks a lot more about story, and then I talk more about gameplay. I would say, but this has the most memorable story that I've ever played when it comes to like characters and side quests, especially villains,
Mm.
especially the villains of the DLC. That
Mhm.
devil villain.
Mm.
But no, look, I just want to give a shout out to Bloodborne. That was my second one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I loved Bloodborne. I loved the Dark Souls franchise, and when they made this exclusively for PlayStation, man, like it was perfect. I didn't know how they would make it work with guns, but they did, and they changed it. It made it a lot more action focused, a lot more tightly
Mhm.
controlled, and it was just honestly, it was so much fun, and it was so hard, and every single challenge that came my way, as soon as I was complete, I've never felt so elated. Again, story wise, I have absolutely no idea because Dark Souls games make zero sense to me. And the only
Yeah.
way to understand a Dark Souls game is to watch a YouTube video that goes for 2 hours long. So apparently it's a good story, but no. Bloodborne. Shout out.
Great shout.
Very good. All right, moving on to 2016. My pick is Firewatch. Um, this game, ever since I played it, has just stuck with me and has never left my brain.
Yeah.
The it's so it's so simple. Like it's a walking simulator essentially,
Mhm.
and the storytelling. It's just you playing the main character and you're talking to someone through a radio, and like that's all the dialogue in the game, and like you get so attached to both of these characters so easily, which is weird because there's no face-to-face contact. And yeah, just exploring the landscape as well. Like every time I'm like scrolling on like rails or something, and like there's like a Firewatch tower with a forest, I'm just like, oh, I want to play Firewatch again. It's just the aesthetic is so nice. Um,
Mhm.
the color palette is beautiful. Um, and like I won't go into the ending, but like It was good.
You heard it here first.
It was
It
good.
was good.
I,
It was
I
good.
don't want to say too much. But yeah, this was definitely like the first indie game I fell in love with, and it's like it's so good. Like it's so good.
Yep. Brilliant game.
Jamie,
Yeah,
what's
it
your
is.
pick for 2016?
Firewatch was my runner-up, and not by far. I went with Titanfall 2.
Oh, I almost chose that as my runner-up.
I've yet to play that one.
It felt at the time when we were just flooded with like very by the numbers military shooters that it was a fresh breath of air in the space. I feel like it was hard done by that. Literally, I think it was from memory released in between like a Battlefield game and a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
It was like within the space of 3 weeks, it was sandwiched between the two, which I think it unfortunately affected sales, which is why we never ended up getting a third entry. But a real shame because like I played those other ones. I think it was Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare. And whilst Infinite Warfare was fine, I didn't really like B1, but it's kind of shat on both of them by quite a mile. Like I still remember there's a later level where you're shifting like time periods as you're going through the level, and it completely blew my mind because you do something in the past and then dive into the future, and then you could get through an area. It was just so unique, and I never ever touched the original Titanfall. To my knowledge, it was just a multiplayer only game on Xbox 360, I believe, or Xbox One, I think. But Titanfall 2 was just so much fun, and it's just it the more I think about it, it's just like it's such a shame that we haven't seen that in a third entry, because I think it could have been something truly special. But yeah, if you do find a chance to go out and you're like craving a shooter, but like all these military ones of current day are just not hitting it, like try Titanfall 2 because like it is actually brilliant, and I definitely think it holds up. That's for sure. And yeah, Firewatch is great as well. That's a great shout.
I'm actually surprised EA hasn't spilled a bit of money into actually trying to make Titanfall 3 a thing, because obviously Apex is so successful, and I feel like a lot of Apex fans who haven't played Titanfall 2 might actually jump to Titanfall 3, especially if they like really try and connect the two even more through that. Like, yeah,
I
it
think
would
it's
be
a
so
Titanfall
good.
3 would like do so well now because it's a very
Yeah,
relevant, like having your
Yeah,
own mech
I
that
think it
has
would
like
do
an
better now.
AI, like and everything.
yeah,
It's like society now, but you know, Respawn itself are a fantastic dev because I think they're the
yeah,
ones behind the Jedi Fallen Order. I think those games
yeah,
as well. So
yeah.
they do quality shit
What
over
are they
there. So,
working on now?
Apex
so
and
aside from Apex, I don't know.
maybe are they working on another Star Wars game?
I feel like they might.
Probably.
I don't think it's like Star Wars Jedi, but I think it's another Star Wars game. I could be wrong though. They are I think they are working on something Star Wars related, but I can't remember. Berto, what's your 2016 pick?
Mine runner up was, I know you said pick, but I'm going to start runner up like Jamie. Was Firewatch.
Nice.
Everything that you said, perfect. Us three talk about that game a lot more. It should be our number one when you think about it, because we talk about it so much.
Yeah, we
Well,
do
it
talk
was
about it a lot.
mine.
My number one was really hard to choose, but I chose Inside.
Yeah.
Great game.
The reason was because it was so. It just really floored me how different it was, and I love anything that's has a lot of, I guess, artistic integrity in. Just felt like watching an episode of Twin Peaks. It's like I didn't quite know what was happening. I had no idea what was going on.
Did you
And
choose Limbo when we did that
no,
year, or was it an honorable
oh wait,
mention?
I think it was honorable mention
Yeah.
because it was the beginning of the. Xbox 360
Yeah, because
Summer
I
of
know we spoke
Arcade.
about
That's when they all
Limbo a
start
few
coming.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
But no, just and even from Limbo, which I loved, this was just again that little bit better, more refined, short, sharp, straight to the point, mysterious. Got me going on YouTube to figure out what the hell I was watching because I want to watch a 2-hour documentary on what I've just played. I'm obsessed with those documentary guys.
I do
It's
that as
terrible.
well. Yeah.
I watch it so much. Yeah, and of course the ending. And then when it ended, I think I just sat down and I was like, wow, that was definitely something else. I've never played
What the
anything like
fuck
that.
happened?
Yeah, YouTube. But no, I know we're choosing games that were. It's funny because I've chosen games that are quite simple, very basic, very strange, and doesn't really over explain anything. Although Firewatch explains a little bit more detail. But yeah, both artistic games. This one just
Yeah.
seemed to be a little bit more up my alley.
Well, 2017. So that was the year the Switch came out. So I've got. I think my number one pick is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Wow,
The perfect Mario Kart game, like especially after all the DLC, like
it is.
there's
Yeah.
they're never gonna do better than that. It's kind of like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, where like I don't think they're gonna do better than that, or I don't know how they would. The tracks were so iconic. And I guess because I didn't enjoy Mario Kart World as much, it made me appreciate Mario Kart 8 Deluxe even more. But yeah, fantastic. Shout out to they had a DLC pack. There was one with like Hyrule Castle. I loved that
Yeah.
map. And
Yeah.
then they had an Animal Crossing map as well, which was also really
Oh,
fun. But I do want to give a shout out to Breath of the Wild, obviously. I'm sure maybe one of you will talk about that in a moment. And a game I played for the first time last year, and I actually have gameplay on the NextPlay YouTube channel. What Remains of Edith Finch. I really,
oh,
really loved that
Yeah.
game, and that game has
Beautiful.
also stuck with me as much as Firewatch has. So, yeah,
did
it
we
was
do a
great.
deep dive into that, or
We
am I
did do a
dreaming?
deep dive, so
We did.
Go watch that.
you're not dreaming. Yes, go watch that after you finish this video.
Yeah. What a beautiful game.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I love discussing that game with you.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
We became the YouTube documentary, basically.
Yeah, we
We
did.
did.
Come full circle.
We did. Yeah. Such a great game. One I slept on for a while. So like if you've been sleeping on it for a while at home, go play it. It's a
It's
good
short. It
time.
takes like 2 hours.
And
It's worth it.
quite emotional at times too. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Jamie, 2017. What have you
My
got?
God, what a bumper year, and it was so hard.
Yeah.
I
It
still
was.
couldn't. I'm not gonna like focus on my shout outs because it's two because I just couldn't pick aside from three. Persona 5 came out this year.
Yeah.
Incredible game.
So
No
good.
wonder why there's like 28 spin-offs of the damn thing. Super Mario Odyssey came out this year. Incredible. Like captured the magic of my mind's eye of how I felt with 64. But like it's gonna be Breath of the Wild for me. If if we're talking about what Berto said on previous episodes about how you felt, that's Breath of the Wild. The amount of like little personal stories. Like I actually don't think the main plot is really that groundbreaking at all. But like
It's just a Zelda
the
plot.
yeah, that's what I mean. And it more was just like, finding out that like, why am I getting struck by lightning? And then you figure out that it's just because you have a sword near you, and then you have to like sort of prepare in the future, or like your wooden armor or anything catching fire when you're in the fire area near the lava. I remember like taking way too long to like climb up the mountainside just because it started raining midway and I refused to stop. Um, and it's just like those little stories, you know what I mean, of just like stumbling upon one of the stupid Korok seeds that are everywhere, or just doing all the trials, which I absolutely loved. I
They
was
were so
obsessed with
good.
those.
Mm.
Um, and like, whilst I did say the plot wasn't that great, I did love the final battle, like especially when you
Mm.
fire off like the final arrow and everything. Like it felt just full of grandeur.
Yeah.
But as someone who hasn't at this time, this was probably one of the first like major entry into the series I had ever played. Um, and it was just magic. Like
Mm.
when you come out of that cave at the start and the game's just like, here's your toy, go play with
Yeah.
everything here, do whatever you want. That was phenomenal. So yeah, if we talk about feelings and everything, I have so many like little personal plot points or like little things that I've tried to accomplish and then either failed or like killed an enemy in an interesting way. So yeah, Breath of the Wild is just a special adventure.
Yeah, it had like such a great sense of discovery, like because you would discover
Yeah.
something new
Yeah.
every bloody where you look. There
Mhm.
was something to interact with or explore or
Mhm.
loot.
Or just
Like,
experiment with, and then it was just like, can this work? And when you failed, it
Yeah.
still felt like, oh well, we tried. You know, it
yeah,
just, yeah, sense of
yeah,
discovery is
it
a good
was
way to
great.
put it.
Mm. Berto, what's your pick for 2017?
Yeah, again, like you guys have mentioned some amazingly beautiful games. I wish I could add them all to the list. But since you guys have chosen somewhat three, I'll do my two shout outs real quickly. This will be left field because I never talk about this game. Divinity Original Sin 2 on PC.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I played that when I was redundant. I needed something to take my mind off things. This is before Larian Studios, so before they made Baldur's Gate.
mm,
Unbelievable RPG. Ridiculous. Like anything you can do it here. It's insane. It's too much, actually. I think I did 140 hours. Obviously, didn't have a job at the time, and I still didn't finish it.
oh god.
I was on
Yeah.
act. There's only 3 acts, I think. I was on act 2. I got to a point where I'm just like, you know, when you go too far and you're like, I can't go anymore. Like I've
I'm
screwed
giving it
around
all
with the
you've
world too
got,
much.
Captain.
That's all I got. It's very similar in the sense of like Breath of the Wild, where how you interact with the environment can change the whole battlefield. Again, fantastic characters, fantastic relationships. Someone dies, they never come back. That sort of stuff, right? Great RPG, and we'll talk about Baldur's Gate, I guess, in the future. The other shout out was Near Automata.
Oh, great game.
Yeah, again,
What's stacked you?
when I got when I got around to playing it, I thought it was just. I actually I didn't understand why it was so good until I started playing it, and then the game. I'm not going to spoil it, but you have to keep playing the game essentially
Yes, yes, you do.
totally get it.
I've
Okay,
heard that.
and it is one of the best Japanese role playing games I've ever played. So I went from one of the best Western role playing games to one of the best Japanese role playing games. It is so different to anything that I've ever played. The
Mind blowing.
music is probably 10 out of 10. The
Mm.
gameplay's phenomenal. It's a bit of everything.
Mhm,
Brad, you would love it, genuinely, if you haven't played it.
I
mhm.
It's like
remember.
Final Fantasy, but on drugs, basically.
True.
Yeah,
Oh
they're
god.
the best kind of drugs. Though.
I
Yeah.
remember. I think I don't think it was last year. It might have been the year before where we did that article on our favorite soundtracks. I think one
Yeah.
of you
Oh
chose
yeah.
Near Automata,
It
and
was me.
I was listening to the soundtrack as I was putting together the article, and I was like, "Damn, this does hit hard."
It
Really
slaps, man.
great
Oh, dude.
music.
Absolute
Yeah.
fire.
Every level, you're just
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mhm,
what is this music?
Mm.
Why? Why are we doing this?
mhm.
Anyway, my number one was Breath of the Wild. I toss between this and Ocarina of Time's my favorite game of all time, to put it into perspective.
Wow.
Huge Zelda fan since I was a kid.
Yeah.
This made me feel like I was that kid. It's as simple as that. It made me feel like, wow, like I've grown up with this franchise, and it felt like the very first time I played it on the NES. So I think any video game that can take you back, kind of like Ratatouille, where he eats that ratatouille thing at the end of the movie and it gets transported back in time. It's like that. It was just the discovery, the sense of discovery. It's too good.
I think
I
it's
don't know what else to say. It's
interesting.
just, yeah.
It's interesting how, like, it took us back, but it was also so different for a Zelda game. Like, so different. In a good way, though. But, like, also, can we go back? Yeah. It's, yeah.
I think it's the changes from Skyward Sword that had that formula.
Yeah.
And then this was like, we heard you, here you go. And it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think it needs to be a mix of both.
It was a huge risk, though, for them to do, like, an open world, like, kind of figure it out yourself type game. Like, and, like, it paid off, obviously.
A year after Witcher 3 as well, and it's still like
Yeah.
rivals it.
Yeah. No. Definitely the perfect way that they could have launched the Nintendo Switch and curb stomped Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. That was funny. 1 week after or before, wasn't it?
I think one.
Damn,
week
that year's
before.
stacked. That's so
Yeah.
crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
That's a good year. Yeah.
Insane.
And also, just a side note, I love Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, I'm just poking fun of it because they always release Horizon games the same week as a.
At the worst.
Was it Forbidden West was next to like Elden Ring or wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate, one of those two.
Love it. All right, 2018. I have 3 picks. I can't choose between them.
Same.
We're getting to that stage now.
It's. I mean,
It's hard,
I've
eh?
got 2 main ones and 1 honorable mention. So my honorable mention is Life is Strange 2, which I feel like I'm the only person on earth that likes that game more than the first.
I didn't
game.
like that one.
Yeah, I think you are. Yeah.
I didn't like it too.
I don't know. Maybe
The one listener of the podcast.
yeah. I identified more with the characters in Life is Strange 2 than I did in Life is Strange. The not kind of like angsty teen from like kind of vibe in Life is Strange 1. Not really a big fan of that, so I just gravitated towards the characters in Life is Strange 2 even more. And yeah, I like the story. I like the different like environments you travel through that game. And I also really enjoyed the endings that you could get in that game were really interesting, and it also had a lot to say about immigration and stuff too, which I found quite good to talk about. But my 2 games that I've chosen are Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War. Surprise!
Gee, another stacked year.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year's stupid.
Yeah. God of War, just phenomenal storytelling, great set pieces. That opening fight with, is it Boulder?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant. Like, what
Insane.
an opening to a game. Like, if that didn't get you hooked, well, I don't know what would. so cinematic, and like it was my first God of War game ever, and like I know it's quite different to the original trilogy and the spin-off games, but it I don't know, just Kratos as a character, like you can't really relate to him, but like you can't help but like root for him at the same time. And obviously the seeing him like in a more fatherly figure with Atreus, it's a side to him that like no one really ever saw. And like the combat's fun, like the Valkyrie challenges are really fun
Oh
too.
yeah, they were tough, man.
The
Yeah.
collectibles, like finding the ravens and all that, really, really had a good time with God of War.
Also, just shout when Kratos goes and gets his chains from the previous game, and like the
Yeah.
music kicks
The
in.
Yes,
best.
It's like
So good.
all over the
yes.
screen. Yeah.
Like even though I hadn't
Like Ratatouille.
played,
It's
even though I hadn't played a previous God of War game, like I knew the importance of that scene. Like I knew his chains were like his bread and butter.
It was
Like,
insane.
yeah.
Yep.
So I can't imagine how like big God of War fans felt about that. Um,
Pretty
Red
good.
Dead Redemption 2, like I'll probably just chime into, I'm assuming one of you have picked Red Dead, probably Jamie. Um, don't shrug, like you talk about it every week. Like,
no, well, I have, but I do have a second entry that I can talk about that I'm very happy to talk about.
okay, well let's move on to yeah, your second entry then.
Celeste. We're
Yeah.
talking about games all the time. Like this is one of those.
Yeah.
This is one of those indie games that I feel is perfect. And like, if you talk about like relatable, like this felt really personal to me. And I know it's a precision based platformer, and it is like it will test you. Especially if we talk like the main game itself is extremely challenging. You start going for strawberries, it's way more challenging. You start doing the different like sides of the tapes that you can unlock. It's even more challenging. I remember I streamed one and I was there for like 3 hours and got through maybe one or two of those really difficult levels. But
Oh my God.
it's visually gorgeous. We've played one of the songs on one of our episodes recently. It's
Yeah.
got an iconic soundtrack, but I think the you are right, Bert. I do linger on stories a lot, but I feel like the writing in this game is so human. Like it's extremely human. Like when when Madeline and I can't remember what the other character's name is. I'm gonna kick myself for not
Theo.
remembering. That's the one. When they sit down just at the campfire and you can just keep talking, it's one of the best written dialogue sequences I think in recent memory, because it is just two people sharing how they
Just chatting.
feel. Yeah, they're just talking about things in life that affect them. You know, why they're here, why they're trying to get to the top of the Celeste Mountain in the first place. And it's human is the only way I can really explain it, because it just feels so real. And especially when you're I guess it's kind of spoiler, but not really. It's on the front cover where you sort of encounter your sort of mirror self, like the self that you are trying to bury, the one that you are trying to fight against, but then ultimately come to accept who you are. It's a story that I think is so relevant to almost everyone. Everyone has that one side or parts of them that they feel like is not going to be accepted, or we all have that sort of mentality, I think, deep down, but it touches that, and it does it in such a powerful way. And I know we talk about a lot of games nowadays tackle mental health. I think the way Celeste does it is really subtle, but it does it in a masterful way that you do understand it. I I have no notes on Celeste. I've always tried to recommend it to people, and like when I say, "Oh yeah, I died like 1,000 times getting through it," it kind of puts people off. But yeah, you can put on, there are assist modes and everything, if you need be. But like reaching it without those, and like reaching the peak of the mountain and everything along with Madeline, is an incredible journey. Fantastic game. But yeah, Red Dead 2 only ships it out just because of Red Dead 2 is like peak Rockstar.
Yeah.
And Arthur Morgan's story is literally just a masterpiece of gaming, I think.
Birdo,
I
2018.
thought you were going to talk more about Red Dead.
Well,
Then
so
I'll
did
be
I.
just like what he says.
I thought Brad was going to go back and finish why he picked it.
Well, have you chosen Red Dead, Birdo?
Birdo?
No,
Oh, okay.
I chose 3 like you guys. Well, 3 and 2. So my third one was Celeste, and everything you said was perfect. You have to play it. It's as simple as that. And if you don't, then you're missing out. And I played it a few years after the fact. I was one of those people that was like, I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it. And then when I played, I was like, man, I wish I'd played this ages ago. And I got the physical straight away, and it was the best thing ever.
Nice.
And I've spoken to a few people, older school gamers, who play it, and they reckon it's their favorite game of all time. That's how much they love it.
Nice.
Now, this is the hardest one for me because number 1 and 2, I suppose, are pretty much almost the same. Red Dead is actually number 2. However, it's so close to being number 1 because of the experience. When I picked it up, I hated it straight away. I thought it was boring.
It's very slow.
I thought it was too slow, like
monotonous.
too slow. And probably in my life back then, I was just mostly into just let's go, let's keep going, let's keep moving. Played it, I think, from when it was released. I'd say probably 3 years after, just before my son was born. I had a bit of time, picked it up, played it from beginning, played it with intent that this was going to be a slow journey. Man, unbelievable. It is their best game ever. I still can't believe, like, it would have been so fine to figure out what game of the year would have been that year. God of War is my number 1 because it's so different to God of War, but they're both almost perfect in both what they're trying to achieve for their respective characters and the history behind it.
Yeah.
Especially when you get to Red Dead, the ending specifically. I have not played a video game where I felt so complete. It was almost faultless. It is. And a lot of people are still finding out mysteries from it now.
Yeah.
And I think you have to respect it that way. And I think I didn't respect it the first time I played it. But you two can talk a little bit about it more. But God of War is my number 1. Huge God of War fan. Played all 3 or 4 before this. I was like, let's see what this reboot's about. Saw the trailers, fully went in, lost the plot. I was like, this is amazing. Like, it's just too good. It's just too good. Yeah, it does the whole Sony father and son combo, like little sidekick combo but this was the perfection of it. I think this was like The Last of Us perfected in a way. Don't really have much else to add. I think Brad, you said all the good things about it, especially with the chains grabbing that scene was awesome. The one shot or the way that they framed the one continuous shot from beginning to end. Perfect. Just amazing video game. But yeah, tough year, man. I don't know if you guys want to add more about Red Dead though.
Yeah, like I think we spoke about Red Dead quite a bit a few weeks ago, when we were talking about GTA 6. So I don't really have much to add apart from like just the incredible detail. It reminds me of The Witcher 3, where the world is so like dense. I don't think Red Dead 2 is as dense, but it's still like it's just a joy to like ride around on your horse.
It
Through
feels
the
alive.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. And
With the random encounters and
beautiful
everything.
game too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to add because we've waffled on about it quite a bit lately.
I can share one little personal story.
Mm,
I had named my horse Luna at the start,
mm,
just because like that's my cat. And I
yeah.
remember we got when you get to the main like bustling city. Can't remember what happened, but I had to leave her, and then I came
Mm.
back, and I don't know what happened. I must have had her near the train car or something. She's just dead, and it absolutely
Oh,
killed me. Like, um, it kind of made the ending where he loses his source less impactful. But like,
Mm.
I was like, I still remember like just like, oh shit, I didn't mean for that to happen. It was just like, if we're talking about feelings, that like I felt so guilty. um, but yeah, Arthur Morgan's story, legendary. I think GTA 5 doesn't even hold a candle even close to Red Dead
no.
2, in my opinion.
Nah,
Yeah,
Um,
I
no.
agree.
and even the twist at the end where it's just like you think it's all done, and now, oh yeah, you've just got this additional story where now you're playing as John, and it's like the
Yep.
full
Mm,
circle. I've always
The
fan
full
pitched him.
circle's beautiful.
I've always like pitched in my head that if they do a Red Dead 3, you'd play as Dutch, and you'd form the gang leading into the big thing. You know how they keep referencing how a heist
mm,
went wrong. Um, and then you sort of have that as like your crescendo of the game, and then it leads into you play as
mm,
a younger Arthur Morgan as he's just
mm.
found by Dutch. I think that would like a perfect way to sort of interline all three characters throughout all three entries. But you know, I love to fan cast shit. So
You heard it here first. Red Dead Redemption
if
3
it,
plotline
if it ever happens
revealed.
and we're playing as Dutch, then they stole my idea.
Yes. All right, moving on to the last year, 2019. I have
Oh
two
boy.
picks, and these two picks I literally cannot choose, so they're both my picks. Resident Evil 2 remake, one of
Yeah.
the greatest games of all time. The remake is I think like I think did Resident Evil 7 came out before this. But I think when Resident Evil 2 remake came out, it like really put Capcom and Resident Evil back into their golden era, and which I honestly think they haven't left that since. And that was what, 7 years ago? Like, they're on a roll. And yeah, it's a shame Resident Evil 3 remake wasn't as good. But Resident Evil 2 was so faithful to the original, which I admittedly haven't played that, but I want to. Yeah, Leon and Claire are like two of my favorite Resident Evil characters, and going through like doing their stories in different orders to like kind of change up the gameplay or the sequence of events type thing really helped do replay value. I actually went through and got the platinum for Resident Evil 2 remake maybe 2 years ago, and yeah, it was so fulfilling knowing that I basically saw every nook and cranny of that game through the
Yeah.
collecting the trophies. And the tyrant is such a good like character, like villain character to like chase you around the police station. It's just honestly probably the best horror game of all time, like full stop. My second pick, funny that you mentioned Titanfall 2. My pick is Apex Legends because that came out in
Makes sense.
2019. Um,
Yeah.
Season 30 of Apex drops next week. So,
Season 30.
yeah, that's
Lord.
That's
insane.
crazy.
I've honestly like played it since season. I played it when it first dropped, and then I think I skipped season one, and then from season two to now, I've been playing it like nonstop. Like it is so good. It's a shame that like between probably season 5 and 20, they did a lot of story heavy, like story building between the characters and like mentions to Titanfall 2 characters, etc. There's a Titanfall 2 character in the game as a playable legend. And like there's also other characters related to Titanfall 2 characters as well. So like they've done a great job at like kind of expanding the Titanfall universe through a battle royale game, which literally, like, there's no story mode. It's just dialogue between the characters during the match. If you party up with certain characters, they have their own dialogue and different ways they talk to each other. But yeah, it's just crazy that this game has held my attention for so long. And based on what I've
Saying
seen of
something.
season
Yeah.
30, it's not going away anytime soon. Jamie, what's your 2019 pick or picks?
So I remember even at the time, I found it difficult to pick between two options, but I went with the one that I found which was most fun to me. The runner-up was Outer Worlds. I think
Mm,
that's a fantastic Obsidian RPG.
mm,
If you love anything that sort of makes fun of like capitalism, whilst also giving you a great space adventure, Outer Worlds is great. I've not played the sequel yet. But for me, if we're talking Capcom, DMC5 for me, I absolutely
mm.
love this game. It brings the craziness of the series mixed with a serious tone as well. And it felt like a sort of appreciation to fans that have stuck with the series. As you guys know, I picked DMC3 for one of my options, and I've been a big fan of the series for a long time. Um, but like if we're talking frenetic combat, it's so responsive. The boss battles are incredible. The moment to moment fights are exhilarating. And you've just got like crazy weapons as well. So like they outfit Nero with like different interchangeable arms, where he could just fire off like grappling hooks to bring enemies closer, which allowed you to keep combos going. But then you've got like the craziness of like Dante, who's literally got a transforming motorcycle as a weapon at one point. You're literally just cutting enemies up with your motorcycle. And a hat where they introduced the hat with him doing a Michael Jackson esque like dance whilst he's wearing the hat. It's like peak like insanity in terms of like DMC. If you haven't seen that clip where he's like doing the Michael Jackson dance, I think Birdo's a big fan of MJ. I think he'd appreciate that. Um,
I
it,
do.
it felt like the evolution to the series that I loved, and I think because DMC4 was so long ago when this had come out, I was just like giddy that we were back in action again. So I think this entry left the series in a sort of state where you could easily pick up again, and I do hope we do in the future. I think I spoke about it a few episodes ago on one of the pods where maybe the excitement and hype of the anime might actually mean we get kicked into gear for a sixth entry. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're into sort of like actiony type games like Bayonetta or anything like that, like DMC5 is one of the best that you can play.
Nice. Uh, Berto, do you want to wrap us up with your pick for 2019?
Yeah. So I've the runner-up, I suppose, since we're talking about it, was Resident Evil 2. I didn't play it on PlayStation. I heard nothing but amazing things about it. So going into it a bit blindly, I was just like, let's give it a go. And you're right, Brad. It was like the horrors off the chain. Like,
Mm,
is it Mr. X? That's who follows you?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
horrible. Hated every second of it. I suck at horror games. And just hearing those footsteps, you're just like, man,
Not
come
again.
on. Yeah, here we go. But it just graphically, it looks at the time still looks amazing. It's
Yeah.
insane how well they make their games look good.
Yeah.
And gameplay, 100%. Just like the whole experience of Resident Evil, just so much fun. Number two is just, I'm so glad I experienced it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they remade 4, which was my favorite as well. So, yeah, having never played it, finally getting to play the best version of it, I'm pretty happy. My number one is another game that I've never really mentioned at all. It's Outer Wilds, so not the Outer World.
Oh,
It's Outer
okay.
Wilds.
Oh.
And the only real reason, again, comes to experience, right? So like we were where I was at the time. So my son had just been born, and I played it a couple of years after. I heard, again, nothing but amazing things. Just like Celeste, I was like, I'll give it a go. Played it when he was born. I was in paternity leave, so 2 weeks. You know, they're little babies. There's not much a man can do except for just whatever. So while they were sleeping, played it. I don't know how to explain this game to you two, other than it's a journey that I've never encountered before. The less you know, the better.
It's
The thing that I had been told was not to look at any walkthroughs, not to look at any puzzle, solutions. Totally try to do it alone. So I did. I had a little notepad. It was disgusting. My little pencil and sharpener. I had everything. And I did everything as the game intended to do. Essentially, all you're tasked to do is you're a little alien in a planet. You have to get into a little rocket spaceship, go into space, and find your friends. But it's the way that how each planet interacts with you and your ship, and the experience of gathering these people is like some sort of, I don't know, outer world experience. Like it's almost like, how can I explain it? The ending of Interstellar
I haven't
in a
seen
game.
that.
Okay. I can't think of another analogy. I've never played a game like this, guys. Put it that way.
Yeah,
I've never
okay.
played a game like this.
It's been high on my list to play. Like I was wanting to play it
Same.
this year.
Yeah, the music is phenomenal. It's like really folky music, country music, and music plays a big integral part of it. You know that fear of like really giant things eclipsing a really tiny, I think it's called like thalamasia or something like that. It's like when you have a fear of that you're a small, tiny human, or you're like a little speck and there's a big giant thing in front of you. If you got that fear, this fear will fully come to life in this game. Because things might appear small from far away, but when you journey into a planet and you see how big it is, or you see how big things can be, yeah. And you solve a mystery along the way of what has happened to the world. Why are you doing this? And again, the ending's a lot like Inside. You don't really know what you've just experienced, but I'm going to watch a 3-hour YouTube to explain it all. I can't
Interesting.
over-explain it to you. It's a combination of physics, big physics, unique story, amazing atmosphere, horrifying at times, truly horrifying, because you're just looking at things that you don't quite understand. And what a game. What an experience.
Yeah, nice. Side note, the Outer Worlds and the Outer Wilds coming out in the same year, that would have been a PR nightmare.
I think it was.
I think I was like, I think it was only recently I knew what the difference between the two were. I thought it was the same game this whole time. But yeah, that is our favorite games from 2015 to 2019. So, did you name the game for this week? So, Do either of you know what this may be?
It's a Pokemon game.
That is correct.
Is
I
it?
can give you that much, yes.
Well, now you know the answer. It's an old school one.
Yeah, it
'Cause
sounds
it sounds
early.
like a Pokemon Crystal.
No. It was on the
It's
DS.
gold? Oh, dear.
Sorry, Jamie.
So what is that? Diamond? Diamond or Pearl?
It's a spin-off.
Ooh, spin-off.
The mystery dungeon ones?
No.
No, I think I'm out because as we have found out in this episode, I didn't have a DS. I got Pokemon. I'll take that.
All right. So the answer is Pokemon Ranger. I've spoken about it a few times
yeah.
on the pod, but I think everyone forgets it exists. Fun game. When I was looking up the audio to play, I was like, damn, this game was really fun.
It threw me because it sounded like Pokemon, but it also sounded like the audio was sick. Like it sounded unwell.
Well, probably because it was a DS, but
Yeah.
so did you name the game at home? If not, try again next week. And with that, that is the end of this week's episode of Ready Up, a weekly gaming discussion podcast by NextPlay Australia. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to check out Not Another Update, our weekly news podcast, where this week we discussed God of War Laufey's release date and the next God of War game after that, Marvel Studios film announcements, and we reacted to Zach Kreger's new Resident Evil trailer. I got through it all without making a mistake, guys. As always,
Nice.
thanks for listening, and until next time, gamers, bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Ciao.